into like, that was when we were really, really having the 1 million man matches. I went into
Okay.
announcing that, and then Twitter spaces, right? So
Yeah.
from 1 million man matches to just having marathon spaces every single day that still
Mm-hmm.
hold till this day as we speak. So it was kind of
Oh
like, well, you
wow.
have a choice, so you better just get on with it. Then
Yeah.
CNN came in and viral happened.
Yeah, you
And
did.
now we're
You're
here.
quite a sensation now, especially for young women. You're
Mm.
quite a sensation. Thank you very much, first of all, for making that move to even, try to voice out things that you noticed while you're trying to get your PVC. That's really brave. I believe Jessica, you have a question.
Yes, I actually do. I would like to know what you think about women's involvement in politics right now, because it wasn't like this years ago.
Yeah, it
So what do
wasn't.
you think? Do you have any experience?
Yeah, I do. Right. When I joined, I don't see myself as a politician, right? I just see myself as an
Mm,
Okay.
everyday Nigerian getting involved
yeah.
in
Mm-hmm.
politics. I always say, if you don't do politics, politics will do you. And
Interesting.
That's the
you,
truth.
when
True.
you
Yeah.
when you have the opportunity to speak up, because you don't know
Yeah.
if you'll ever get the opportunity again.
I
So
Exactly.
at
like
that
that.
time,
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking towards, oh, you're a woman. I was thinking
Mm.
towards the thing of, oh, you're an individual in this country that
Yeah.
may or may not be existent after 2023, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that was what I was thinking of. But now that you say it, and now that I'm thinking about it from a
Yeah.
woman's perspective,
Perspective.
women are becoming active. And I'm not a mother yet, but when you think about
Yeah.
your child being victim of
Yeah.
an assault,
Exactly.
a
Exactly.
bomb blast, something so
Yeah.
horrid, it will trigger you, because
It
eventually, I mean, I
will.
plan to be a mother someday, and I put myself in that shoe and I say, oh my God, how can I cry over my child? What am I going to do? So let me start now. I
Mm.
have younger that I cater for, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have younger
And
siblings. And
and
when you
sorry
look at
sorry
it
to
from like,
cut you
okay, you're
short there.
responsible for children.
Will you hear me? Can you
Mhm.
hear me? There was something that you mentioned that I wanted
Yes, I'm
to
here.
hit on,
Yes, I can
yeah,
hear you.
because it's part of something that we need to understand. I mean, I was talking to you the other day about why women are sentimental, or would like to say emotional in this election, and why they are passionate about this election. It's because they are thinking about the well-being of their children, really.
Exactly.
The children are the youths. Do you get me? And I said something. I said, it's where the sentiment of a woman is. That's what would usually like engineer the family towards making decisions, even
That's true.
political decisions. Do you understand? Because they are the caregivers. They are the one providing care. They are the one taking good care of their, making sure their families are okay.
Mm.
So I think it's important that we understand where these women are coming from. They are fighting for the future of their children, a future where their child can go to school and not have to come back and stay at home for 8 months because of ASU strike, or
Correct.
a situation where they have to spend 4 years or 8 years in school and come and not see jobs. This is the future they are fighting for. So do continue. Can you hear me? Oh, I think we're having a little issue there. So we're going to continue um with Pikachu. The other day I was saying about women's involvement and how they have numbers on their side. I mean, 10
I
in
think
the
she's back.
okay, you're back. We lost you there for a minute. Okay, all right. Sorry about that. We are going to dive into the next question. I think it's about like you being a young woman, really, and the challenges that you have faced,
Yeah.
right? And how you have overcome those challenges, if there are any, as a young woman, a young Nigerian woman.
have I will be a hypocrite to say I have not faced challenges. One
Okay.
being my gender, two being my age, right?
Mm.
And I
Okay.
always wonder, like the gender, I'm like, well, it's a conversation that has been happening for the longest time.
Yeah.
But my age, I'm like, I'm 24. I'm not a child. You will not categorize me as a child. If I
No.
hurt someone, I will go to jail. So why am I perceived as young, naive? I don't know anything. I'm like,
Our
my
leaders
age
are 80 years and above.
I'm like, my age should be more involved, right?
Yeah, exactly.
My age will be the leaders of tomorrow. So why can't they speak up now? And I get things of, oh, shut up, you're a child. What do you know? I've gotten like very horrid words thrown at me, words that should not even be said here, because I believe minors might watch this. And it breaks your heart, like that people just kind of look down at you because, and sometimes I wonder, like, okay, if I was older, would that be a problem? If I was a different gender, would that be a problem? Because a different gender and I was young, would that be considered brave or foolish? But they'll probably say, oh,
that is deep.
Oh, you're a young man, you know, you're a young man doing this, you're so brave. But when it's a woman, it's kind of like, oh, there's a problem.
It is another
perspective.
Yeah.
So it's like the words. So it's kind of like I always have to constantly prove myself. And it takes a mental toll on you. Like you always have to constantly prove yourself, and you always have to show up, and you always have to think about things that you should not be thinking of. Like, oh, am I speaking right? Am I saying this right? Am I sitting right? How am I perceived? That mental toll is there. Social media, like, oh, when I say something, expressing myself, it's kind of like you're expected to kill your individuality because you're perceived a certain way. So it's like, oh, I can't say this because somebody's going to leave a comment that, oh, you should not be saying
this. Because someone is like someone's like looking out for you.
Yeah, because it's looking like, oh, you should not be
just bring it down. Yeah.
You should not be saying this because you know you are who you are, and and I'm like, it's like sometimes kind of like, please stay out of my DM. Please don't talk to me. But you really cannot control these things, so you always have to keep finding yourself explaining these things over and over and over again.
Exactly. I understand perfectly where you're coming from.
Exactly. So there are days where you just feel like, you know what, I'm not doing it again.
Yeah.
I don't want to get out of bed.
I totally understand.
I want to
because as much as social media,
but you really cannot.
Yes, exactly. And as much as social media is like one of the biggest tools right now in this election, and how it has helped our principal, I think it can also be negative, especially in the beginning, especially when you're starting out. Because I can imagine what it was like for you, 24 years old Nigerian female in this kind of political setting and atmosphere. I suppose you begin to question if you have the right to even fight for what you're fighting for, because people start saying horrible things like you mentioned earlier, and you just start to question yourself, and that is totally understandable. I mean, Ibukun, you can relate to on social media a lot.
Yeah,
you can totally relate to what we are saying here.
Of course, I do.
There's something that I want us to get from this show. I want it to be balanced. That's why, although this is Obedient Women, I have with me a man, in person of Pikachu.
Yeah.
So I have a question to
you remember? Which wants to is like it's feeling left out.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Important to
No, I'm sorry. Okay, so I want this to be balanced, and I want us to look at it from the perspective that Uyemi has thrown to the table. She's saying that she's 24, she started campaigning or like raising her voice to the ongoing elections and everything, and she was just receiving a lot of backlash and whatever. Mostly because she's young and she's
woman, yeah.
I need to throw more light on why that is. I mean, in our society today, I mean, even after all these years of the so-called development 21st century, why are we still there? Why is Nigerian society that harsh?
Like Wayme pointed out earlier, this conversation has been going on for the longest time.
Yeah.
Even before we came on this planet. So some people say it's a man's war. Okay. Yes. And then especially in Nigeria, in Africa, there's this picture called it's enshrined in our culture.
Exactly. As Africans, right?
Yes.
Okay. where you see a man can marry 10 wives,
but a woman
can do that.
Okay, on properties too.
Exactly.
Sure.
Okay, so females and women are discriminated even in our tradition. Okay, so they are put in the background and debased, and they're told what to do and what not to do. That is why in Nigerian politics today, only about 6% of women that are involved in politics.
That's really sad.
Yeah, when you check out how many governors in Nigeria, in the 36 states of Nigeria, how many do we have a female governor?
No, we don't even have a deputy governor.
We have deputy governor. The deputy governor of River State is a woman. Okay.
Just her.
I think there may be.
Okay.
But this is where we find ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why we see feminism, rising, and even in Nigeria now. Okay. Even in Nigeria. Okay. So, but talking about the elections, let's bring this to the elections now.
Okay.
We have seen people like Wayne stand up to the occasion and making her voice heard. And that is the same thing we see across the nation. We see young people that were before now never interested in anything that had to do with Nigeria elections. Okay, nobody even knew anything about party.
They didn't want to hear about politics.
Okay. Now everybody has woken up again, getting interested, getting involved in trying to make Nigeria better. So the thing is that we should not be discouraged, no matter the kind of backlash that you face or opposition that you face as a woman. I'm going to encourage you to just keep pushing, and you never even know, you could be making way for your own political future
if you're interested.
But apart from politics, also leadership. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be politics.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
that's true, and I buy into that. Ibukun, I believe you want to say something.
You've been calling me Ibukun for a long time. I was just looking at you like, Jessica, okay, it's fine, Jessica. It's fine.
Let's say something.
Just a quick question. Do you think, William, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Do you think that I think you already know, right? But then what do you have to say about the Obidient government? Where would be their impact to the average Nigerian or the average Nigerian family?
Sorry, can you please come again?
She asked you to come again.
Okay, where would be like Obidient, right? The Obidient government, what would be their influence to the average Nigerian? To the average Nigerian family? Because right now we understand that people are more about we are more concerned about people who do not have voice, right? So we've heard a lot of things that Peter Obi has done. So what do you think personally would be their efforts when it comes to the average Nigerian family? Do you get that question?
Yes, I did. I genuinely, honestly feel like the Obidient government will bring back tranquility and sanity to the average Nigerian. Like it or not, every single Nigerian is traumatized in their own way.
Exactly.
I was
going to mention that.
Period.
Let's be real. You don't have 24/7 power supply. How do you not see that as a problem and as a trauma? Whereby I know people, sorry to deviate a bit, I know people who have gone abroad and they say when they first of all go abroad, they are in some form of culture shock. Like,
culture shock,
like, is this normal? Is this a thing?
Yeah, they begin to feel comfortable.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's kind of like, is it like, and they have friends that are like, where are you coming from? Right? It sounds bizarre, but it is true. So I feel like the first things first, it will bring some level of like, you can breathe now. You don't have to hold your breath, right? Then the next thing it will do is bring safety, because as Nigerians, our life is constantly in danger. We are not safe.
Right?
It might take a moment, but we are going to work towards it. Right? The third thing it's going to bring back is that voice that we've somehow forgotten and lost.
Exactly.
Whereby you're speaking and you're being heard, and you're speaking and nobody's trying to gaslight you, because there is a very high level of gaslighting that goes on in Nigeria from the Nigerian government to the people, whereby when you question something, it looks like, am I mad for questioning this?
Yeah, they don't expect you to question things. Yeah,
exactly. So when you see something like, am I meant to see this, right? Am I meant to say this? Even I, as an individual, when I explain certain things, right, about obedient women, and I say certain things, kind of like, did I say that in the right tone? Did I use the right words? Like, so it's kind of like, okay, now, like, it's again going back to the thing of individuality, where everybody can actually be free to be themselves, where I don't necessarily need to hold my breath. Before they will start, these are just like individual benefits. I don't want to start talking about, oh, we're going to have 247 power supply. That's the government's job. But as human beings, there will be a very good sense of sanity, because, like it or not, as Nigerians, and I don't want to make it look like, oh, we are all mad and we're all cuckoo. But when social media says that Nigerians need therapy, they're not joking, right?
We do.
Like, oh, they're going to check us all into like an asylum, or we're all going to see psychologists. But certain things that are exactly, so certain things that we consider abnormal, and they are normal. Like,
it's really abnormal.
Yeah, it, like, for example, now you're driving. It is very normal to just overtake. It is very, very normal to just overtake somebody driving. And you see that as normal, but these things are not normal. So I don't think. I know that the Obi government will normalize normality, right? Things that are normal. That way you know that this is normal. And what you consider abnormal, now we are going to like really separate that. Okay, you see that thing that you're considering normal before is absolutely abnormal. 247 power supply is not abnormal. It is normal. Driving on the road and somebody is not horning and making your heart skip a beat is abnormal, and we are going to check that, right? So all the things that we've all considered abnormal is the way of life as an average Nigerian. We're going to definitely reset that. So hence,
I believe that
after all this, my ranting and rambling is going back to sanity.
You are definitely not rambling. We are hearing you, and the people of Nigeria hear you too as well. There's something that I want us to talk about, collectively on this table, and it's something that I noticed, and I am so happy about. Let's talk about how the role religion is playing in this very election, because there was just this scare when Peter B started in the early stage. They started campaigning for presidency. The fact that he's Igbo, there was the fact that he's Christian, this and that. But I'm beginning to see how women, especially who used to carry prayer houses on their head, in quotes, are now moving from prayer house to PVC, to get their PVC, moving to word to get their PVC. There's just a whole dynamic change, and I feel like it's absolutely revolutionary. We're not just praying anymore. Of course, praying is good, but we're beginning to see that you need to add work to your prayers. And I absolutely love that, and I know I'm not the only one that has observed that. I mean, we are agree with me on this.
Okay, so first of all, we should not even be having this conversation, and this is going to piss a lot of people off, but it's the truth. Religion and where I'm from should not even be the conversation. But unfortunately, this is Nigeria, and we are not enough for that. But first is, if I can, I always say this, right? I use it all the time. I'm very against bigotry, and I say it all the time. I'm like, when Don Jazzy says 50K giveaway, everybody from different tribes, they'll drop their account number.
Yeah.
You don't care if Don Jazzy is Igbo or not. No. You just want that money.
Money is not gender-based. It's not, it doesn't have an
exactly, because you know that this is going to solve a problem. Don Jazzy is solving a problem for you. If Davido comes out today and says, I'm going to pick someone to join my record label, drop your hits in the comment section below. Drop a link to your hit song. Everybody will drop it. Nobody cares if Davido is Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa. Just like Davido has value to offer. Davido can take my song to the next level. So what's the difference in politics? I know, these are different scenarios, different, case studies, but when you think about it, I can offer you good governance. I've done this before. I know the problem. I have a track record. Solution. I have a track record. Why is my tribe and my religion a problem?
A problem.
Why is it a problem? Why?
I think I might have.
Why do you see that?
Sorry to cut you short, but I think I might have an explanation, sort of, or a reason why that is. I think I'm beginning to see that religion is a tool in the hands of our leaders, because to me it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all why they will tell you, oh, I'm a Muslim candidate, all Muslims should vote for me. I'm a Christian candidate, all Christians should vote. You understand where I'm coming from?
The point.
It's obviously a tool that have been used for way too long. People can't even realize and see it for what it is, that this is just a tool to keep us where we are right now and to center our growth. Do you understand? So it's I just understand now that this is a tool, because I've not really seen it from that perspective before, because it doesn't even make sense. So I understand that could be a reason why that is happening.
I would like to ask Wayemi a question.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, yes, Wayemi, can you hear me?
Yes, of course, I can hear you loud and clear.
I'd like you to tell us, in your own opinion, what young ladies like you should be doing when it comes to the Obidati campaign and electing a new leader for Nigeria.
All right.
What should be the motive or agenda for young ladies like you? What should they be doing?
All right. First things first. Your number one motive should be your what is going to happen to me in the next 30 minutes, because in Nigeria it is very, very if I step out of my house now, will a stray bullet hit me? And if it hits me, how quick will the ambulance get here? How quick will the security fix it?
Very apt,
right? So that should be your motivation. Your tomorrow should be your motivation for today, right? And as an obedient woman, please don't wait for anybody to give you the go-ahead before you start preaching the gospel of good governance. Don't wait for me to tell you to go and get your PVC. You don't need to wait for. Don't wait for me to tell you this is where you're going to vote. Don't wait for me to tell you that you need to visit XYG LGA to go campaign. Don't wait, right? Because it's not dependent on me. It's not dependent on you. It's dependent on the individual, right? You're the one going through. I cannot relate to what you're going through, because we all have different stories and experience. So that should be your motivation. My motivation is my tomorrow. My motivation is I have younger siblings that I need them to stay happy. I don't want them to see the Nigeria that I'm seeing. I want to protect their innocence by all means. I want to make sure that parents are a certain age, they are not going through this anymore. I want to make sure that even the people I don't know, because I have human empathy, when I go out the street, everybody is happy. That might be a lot for a lot of people, but start with the smallest thing, the smallest unit. You as a person is your tomorrow set. And I'm not really trying to sound like a motivational speaker in any way, but if your tomorrow is not set, as an obedient person, please just try and get it done. Keep speaking. Don't let anybody, as a woman, don't let anybody, no matter how your age, right? I know obedient are 16-year-olds and you're not old enough to vote. Start speaking now. When you're 18, you're going to get your PVC. Start speaking. Tell your schoolmates that they should tell their parents to do the right thing by them. They should do right by them. But you're not the legal enough to come out and vote. You're not legal enough to, but you can start the conversation. But all it takes is for the conversation to start.
Oh, thank you very much. That has been such a beautiful conversation. I think I've learned some new things. I really did enjoy this. I enjoyed this, and I'm really glad that you found the time to join us today. And I'm even happier that you are an obedient young woman and you're doing everything that you can with your skill, with your voice to further push the movement. Thank you very much, Nigeria. Thanks you. And thank you for joining the Obidati Family TV.
Thank you for having me today.
Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to round up here, but before that, let's just give a few words to every Nigerian young lady listening. Jessica.
Okay, first of all, I want to mention that I'm really inspired by what William is doing at the moment. Like, I see this motivation, I see this fire in eyes. And personally, I am going to be doing something which I wouldn't say right? But then yes, exactly. But then I advise every young woman out there to do what it takes, right? To lend your voice. Because it's not about saying go and vote. What exactly are you doing? Do you have something that you're doing? If you are using social media, right? You should use it well. Because I saw somewhere, or I heard of a story where a girl of my age was confused about who to vote. She was campaigning for APC or PDP and was confusing with Peter B was in PDP or the APC. At this point in time, I was still confused. So you should do your best, to understand what is going on at the moment. It's not just saying Peter Obi. Do you know Peter Obi? Do you know? So you should do your own research. And that's what I have to say.
Thank you very much. That's absolutely brilliant.
Yes, for me, I wanted to ask Wayme before she left.
She's
if she thinks, she's still here.
Yeah.
Okay, Wayme. All right. I want you to tell me honestly now. Do you think that enough sensitization has been made concerning the Obidati movement? Just like Jessica mentioned, now somebody confused about the party that Peter B is in. Somebody is still saying that Peter B is in APC. At this stage, it's just 30 days or so to the elections. Do you think that enough sensitization has been done? And if yes or no, what more do you think should be done?
All right. Okay. One thing I've come to learn about elections, and I'm still learning, right? So I don't see myself as a master politician or whatever. But one thing I know for sure is you can never have enough sensitization. So if I say yes, I'm lying that we are good, right? You can never have enough. You can never know LP enough. You can never know Peter enough. You can never know Dati enough. So as far as I'm concerned, we are not doing enough, not because we are lazy or anything. We are doing everything we can. So when I think I'm not doing enough, it's because you can never have enough. Exactly. And because of the position that I am at, I see a lot of people go into the grassroots every single day, right? Grassroots, you send materials to them. And it's like you've sent 5,000 materials and you're like, no, it's not enough. And you're like, whoa, calm down. We are going to send more. We are going to send more. We are going to send more resources. So there is always more. It is never enough. You can never be enough. You have to just constantly keep grinding at it.
True. Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. In my words, I'm going to say that every young lady out there that is obedient. In fact, every young lady should be obedient. Every young person that has a right thinking head should be obedient. And you should just keep spreading the word about Obi. Okay, just like we said, it's never enough. Just do the much that you can. Convince the people around you, okay, to vote for P2B to get their PVCs as well. All right, and don't stop. Just preaching the Obidati message.
Exactly. And we also need to remember that this is a a revolution. It's not just an election, and everybody needs to see this as what it is. If you don't get it right now, I don't know when
I'm telling you,
I don't know. Opportunity. So we need to see this as what it is now and grasp the opportunity that we have. You've already said everything. Thank you very much again, Yemi, for joining us. This has been an absolute pleasure, and I've enjoyed doing this with my co-host, person of
Pikachu
and
Jessica.
I am Sharon Enemchukwu. This is Obidient Family TV, and don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. That is Obidient Family TV on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. My name is Sharon Enemchukwu. Until we see you next time, have a lovely day.